Jackie is back to put me to the test with Jackie's living room design quiz, because what's a home day without putting my design knowledge to the test, right? I'm ready for it, Jax, but just tell me, how hard is this going to be?
Well, that depends, Tracy. I mean, I'm hoping that you've been listening to all the design advice from all the designers over all the years, but I'll try and be kind, all right? But, you know, as a designer, one of the joys of my life, because design is a passion, is moving stuff around. And I'm always moving furniture and playing with accessories because I think it keeps me on my game when I'm working with my clients. But when you're looking at a living room, for example, my first question to you is, what do you think is the most important piece of furniture you should start with in a living room or family room?
See, I'm going to say the couch, because Lord knows that's where my backside has been for the past 2 weeks. And I want a couch that we can sit on or sleep on, nap on. I'm a big reader, so I'm going with couch.
Well, you are correct. It's absolutely, the couch is usually the sort of, it's the backbone of the room for sure. And whether you decide to have a couch, which can be anywhere from 70 inches to 110 inches, or a sectional, a couch is really an important element to the room. And you have to really think about the kind of fabrics that you select as well. So there are performance fabrics. I've even used indoor-outdoor fabrics for sofas, and I'm a big fan of velvets as well because they have a myriad of colors, and they also are really resilient to stain and stain removal, so I love those. So that's really important. Another thing to think about too is color. Now, as a designer, just a real quick tip is always keep them neutral. High dollar investments, keep them neutral, because you can move them all over your house because you've got a really consistent color palette. And then I also use the colors of the moment for accessories like pillows, throws, even flowers to really jazz up my space. But once you got the couch figured out, which you are correct, you want to think about chairs. So chairs are going to either be a stationary chair or a swivel, and people love swivels. Swivel chairs allow people to see every part of the room, the television, all sorts of things. So swivels are really, really having a big moment and have for a lot of years. And then you look at case goods, and case goods are coffee tables and end tables. And this is where I like to mix it up. I love to use marble, metals, woods. I really try and play with those different finishes. And I particularly always seem to have a lot of reflective surfaces. And they're really pretty in a space because they do create the illusion of more space. And that's important in any size room that you're dealing with.
Okay, well, speaking of reflective surfaces, your next question is about the TV. What do you got for me?
Okay, so can you put a television in a room that has a lot of windows, Trace?
I think you can. I mean, I don't know how you make it work because there's going to be major glare, but maybe you just have some window coverings. I'm going to go with yes, you can.
Well, you're right. That's really good. You're right. Always think about every single wall in your space in a room where you want to put that TV that has windows, and figure out the best space for the least amount of glare, for sure. So that's a really important point. Also remember that reflective surfaces, whether they're a glass coffee table or even just something like a television, you do have to maintain, lightly dust them. There is a little bit more work when you're dealing with a reflective surface, but certainly very, very nice.
What have you got for me next in your quiz, Jax?
Okay, well, I have a question about windows, because we've been talking about windows and reflective surfaces. I have a lot of windows, and I have 3 dogs now, so I'm always cleaning windows. But I have a question for you, and it is this. Can you put a large piece of furniture, like, for example, an open shelf, in front of a window?
I'm going to say, yeah, throw out the rule book. You can put a large piece of furniture in front of a window. I know people don't like to do that when it's like a bed, like in a bedroom. There seems to be some kind of an unspoken rule against it, but I'm going to say yes, you can. Am I right?
Yeah. You're on fire, girl. Absolutely. Yes, you can.
Yes.
And I think you're right. You can break rules, like go for it. For example, I wanted to put an open shelf in my second area that, again, has a lot of windows and very little wall. And I just, happy accident, I kind of put it in front of the window, and I loved what happened because it created a backlight for all of my collectibles and accessories. So I thought it was really sharp. And it made me realize that you can put pieces in front of windows, and it doesn't have to be a high piece, but certainly a console table or just any kind of furniture piece like that can look really, really stunning. And again, that backlit look is very illuminating.
Well, speaking of illuminating, I think your next question has to do with lighting, does it?
Yes, it does. So Can you put something like a chandelier, so think, chandelier dining room, in a room, a casual room, let's say like a family room? Can you do it? Would you be comfortable doing it?
I would be very comfortable doing that. I kind of like the juxtaposition of a casual space and then a very like glam object, but that's a personal preference thing. What do you think?
I tell you, if your day job doesn't work out, you can work for me, Trace, because I'll tell you, you're absolutely right. I think breaking rules, feeling comfortable with something like doing a light fixture that you would think might work in a dining room more than a family room is exactly the way you should put it in the family room. Because what it does is it creates a focal point, it creates a bit of drama. So use that as a way to kind of create an ambiance. And don't forget pot lights, of course, on dimmers, and floor lamps and table lamps. All of those can be strategically placed to create a really beautiful, beautiful kind of inviting area when you're just sitting at home having a drink or entertaining.
Well, I am pretty impressed with me. I got them all right. But you know what? I watch Cityline, so I better. Thank you, Jax. Enjoy your new living room. It's gorgeous. And remember, you can find all of her design tips up on cityline.tv.